Hey there, I'm Sydney Cannon. I'm a Shenandoah Valley wedding and portrait photographer, and today I'm giving you 3 of my best time-saving tips for blogging. When I recently polled my Instagram audience about what's stopping them from blogging, their number one answer was that blogging takes up too much time. I kind of agree it is a big time commitment, but with these 3 tips I'm going to go over today, it can take up way less time, and the benefit down the road is just too great to ignore. So today I'm giving you my best 3 time-saving tips from start to finish about what is going to make your blogging journey a little bit faster and easier on you. If you haven't already seen some of the blogging videos I have out, such as why you should consider having a blog and 50 blog post ideas, as well as many more, go ahead and check out the playlists and add this video to the list so that you get a full blogging comprehension. I also have a full blogging resources page on my website that gives a lot more blog education, so go ahead and check that page out on the link down in the caption below. But let's go ahead and get started. Here are my best 3 time-saving tips for blogging. Time-saving tip number 1, plan in advance. It is a lot harder when you walk up to the plate on Tuesday mornings knowing that you got a blog out today and you have no idea what you're going to blog about. It is much easier and way less stressful if you plan everything out and even have it done well in advance. To do this, I use a content calendar. So I have taken a few different kinds of ideas from other photographers and from other content specialists, and I have made it my own and added to it my own workflow so that I know when all these blog posts are coming up, what I have to do to get them ready, and what I have to do afterwards. So I have a very intense and complicated content calendar, but that is totally not needed. All you really need are the dates that you're going to publish them, the blog posts themselves, and if they're ready or not. That's a basic content calendar for you. I like to separate mine by months so I can look a whole month in advance, because I like to plan out all of my blogs about 4 to 6 weeks in advance and have a whole month ready for me that I can look at right away to see what needs to get done. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to plan in advance. That way I can at least go through and get a lot of the tasks done ahead of time, and I'm not scrambling the day of what am I going to write, what am I going to post today, and then I never get left behind when that happens. So plan in advance, use a content calendar, plan out all your posts in advance, schedule them, get everything ready in advance. Time-saving tip number 2 is to outline your blog posts before you start writing them. If you have a blog idea ready to go and you have the title done, you're feeling good about that, and then you are sitting there with the body of your blog empty, and there's that blinking cursor at you, and you know you have to write this big, beautiful blog post and it's not coming, I know the feeling. It's very overwhelming. So instead of just starting it, trying to write it start to finish, outline your blog post first. Sit down, I like to get out a piece of paper, write the title, and then I write the kinds of subheadings that I want. For example, for this blog post, which you can get in the link in the description below that goes along with this video, I had my title, 3 time-saving tips for blogging, and then I had my 3 tips that I wanted. I originally had more, but I ended up condensing them into 3. So by brainstorming first and then, moving them around and creating subheadings, it is much easier, because then once I had these 3 time-saving tips separated into them, I could write little talking points and kind of bubble points underneath that I can later elaborate on. So instead of going to the blog post of the whole thing and having this whole big blank page stare back at you, I instead had this outline, so I could go ahead and write the introduction because I knew what I was going to talk about later. I could write about my first and my second and my third bullet points very easily because they were broken down into the topics I already knew I was going to talk about. So the writing of it is way less stressful and overwhelming, and it goes by way faster. I know it seems kind of like an English teacher-y thing to do, always, outline your essays before you write them, but they weren't right, and for many good reasons. But outlining your blog posts helps writing later 1,000 times easier and faster, so make sure that you have that outline. This way you can also reorder before you even get to writing. You kind of see the direction you want your blog post to go. So outline your blog posts. Time-saving trick number 3, batch work. So the definition of batch working is doing the same kind of tasks over and over again so that you get all of them done at the same time. When we batch work, we are just doing one task over and over again, whether that's writing, whether that's outlining, or gathering all the images, or stomping all the images and putting them into the blog, or scheduling your blogs. that kind of thing, doing those tasks over and over and over again. Say if you do that for the whole, if you pick one day and you put all the images into the next 4 blog posts, that's called batch work. So you are literally only thinking about getting those images, putting them in the blog post, and that's all you're thinking about. Whereas instead, if you go each time and you're redoing a blog post, so you're creating the whole thing, you're outlining, then writing, then adding images, then doing the SEO, then publishing, every time you switch from task to task, I know it follows a logical sequence, but every time you do that, you have to sit and think, oh wait, how do I do this with SEO? Oh wait, where do the files go? All this stuff. So by doing the same task over and over and over again and planning your blog posts out in advance, not only will you be way ahead in your content calendar, but you are going to be so much faster. If you could sit down 4 days in a week, if you just sit down 4 days in a week and one day you're outlining all your blog posts, the next day you're writing all of them, the next day you're adding all the images, and the next day you're doing all the SEO, all those tasks over and over again, that way in those 4 days you have a month's worth of content and it will take way less time. So batch working is definitely the way to go. If you can manage to plan that far in advance, which you should if you took time-saving tip number 1 into effect, then that will help speed up your workflow by 1,000 times, and you will be able to get your blog posts out like that. Alright, those are the 3 time-saving tips I have for you today. Let me know down in the comments below if these helped you on your blogging journey, and let me know if you have any questions. I would love to start a conversation about blogging with you. It is one of my favorite things to do in the whole world. So make sure that you're clicking the link down in the description below to check out the blog post that goes along with this video, and make sure that you are subscribed to my channel and you like this video in particular so that you are ready to be updated with all the future blogging videos I have. Alright guys, that's all I have for you today, and I cannot wait to see you next time.